So, I got a single comment on my Red, White, and Royal Blue movie commentary after I joked about how badly I needed a sequel and that I, as a script writing major, would just write it myself. You know, just give me a call. And a person commented that they needed my pitch. You can't just say things like that to me and expect me not to pull through. But, you know, a sequel pitch, that's too easy, okay? Like, that was too simple. So I have a pitch for not one, not two, but 3 Red, White, and Royal Blue sequel movies, creating the Red, White, and Royal Blue cinematic universe. Conclusion, I was brainstorming a sequel pitch and I was like, no, this won't fit all into one movie. And then I was brainstorming a trilogy pitch. I was like, no, this won't fit into 2 movies. So instead we have to make a 4-movie series of Red, White, and Royal Blue. All right, let's get on to movie number 1, our direct sequel, just titled Red, White, and Royal 2. Okay. Alright, so obviously I have read the bonus chapter in the collector's edition, bonus edition of Red, White, and Royal Blue. The dust jacket is on a different book so that I could display this beauty, but we got Vanessa's art. And this has an extra epilogue chapter from Henry's point of view. So obviously I'm taking things from that. I am taking things from Casey's recent Threads posts that they did, people, answering questions about Alex and Henry in the future. So we've got lots of material to work with, which is why I'm in the plane of delusion that I'm in, that we are getting a Red, White, and Royal Blue sequel. My thing is, a sequel's not enough. I need the Red, White, and Royal Blue cinematic universe, which is why I'm here today, so that I can pitch it to you, Amazon Studios, and you can give me a call. Okay. Red, White, and Royal 2. So this is their first year in the Brownstone. All right, so we didn't get the Brownstone reveal in the movie. At the end of the book, Henry buys a Brownstone in New York. Henry, philanthropist king, is working on opening LGBTQ plus youth shelters around the world. That's his big thing near the end of the book. And so he's opening one in Brooklyn, and he buys a Brownstone in New York so that he can be closer to Alex, and can be hands-on with starting up the shelter in Brooklyn, okay? In the book, also, Alex is not in law school. He had graduated from his regular bachelor's in the middle of the book and then is thinking about applying to law school. So in the epilogue, he is going to NYU Law, okay? So my thought, since he is at Georgetown Law in the movie, but we don't know what year he's in, he's still in law school, but he is transferred to NYU Law. All right, so now we are here in, okay. First and foremost, not one of my 3 movie pitches is going to have relationship turmoil plot points for drama, because I am a strong believer that you can have romance-centric stories with conflict where the conflict does not fall to the couple to have conflict, okay? Like, there are so many things that we can have conflict about to make this a movie that is not just them being cute and domestic for 2 hours, even though I would eat that up, without it affecting them, because that's out of character, it's unrealistic, they just live their happy, wonderful life. So that's what so let's just get that out of the way for all the people who are like, oh, I can't do a sequel because then they're gonna make them break up, and no, and here's why, okay? Alrighty. Our main conflict in the sequel movie is Henry's abdication. Yep. So that is that's something that is touched upon in the epilogue. Henry's eventual choice to abdicate from the royal family and take himself out of the royal line so that he's no longer an heir to the throne, okay? So I'm thinking movie-verse, like he's been living in New York, doing his shelter stuff, writing his first book, okay? He's writing his first book, a memoir about himself and his life and his coming out and his dad and all of these wonderful things, okay? The Crown is, they're starting to get a little peeved with how much time Henry is spending in the U.S., right? Like, they keep calling him back for all these appearances and this and this and that, and Henry's kind of over it. They still, like, the king and Philip are still, like, making snide comments about Alex and his relationship, and Henry is not having it, okay? So eventually Henry makes the decision to abdicate from the throne so that he can live his wonderful gay little life in the United States and do his writing and his youth shelter stuff, and this is not a life that he wants anymore, and he just doesn't feel like London and the crown and all of this is his home. So, right, his LGBTQ plus youth shelter plot line, full fucking swing. Activist king. We're gonna have more Pez, because obviously he works with Pez, with those youth shelters, because Pez, billionaire philanthropist, you know, he's funding things. Henry has his inheritance from his dad. He doesn't want money from the crown, right? He does not want any of the crown's money. He does not need them. He is on his own, living his best life. He's also working up the nerve to write his first book, and obviously, like, Alex is like, you know, like, this is what you need to do this. Like, I believe in you. You're so talented and amazing. And then perhaps we end the first movie with him getting his first copy of the book, and he like shows it to Alex, and it's dedicated to Alex. Yeah. All right, let's address the elephant in the room. That is engagement. Okay, so engagement would happen in sequel number 1. I am a Alex proposes first truther. Okay, you could argue with me in the comments. It is canon that both of them bought rings, and I'm pretty sure it is canon via threads that both of them did propose at one point, right? Because that makes sense to me. Like, that's the kind of bitches that they are, where it's like, yeah, they would both want to do it because they're both dramatic. But Alex proposes first truther. I just think that that's in Alex's nature. I think that Alex would think that that would be something that Henry would want because of, like, the sheltered life that Henry had. I think that he would think that getting proposed to, like, by a man was not something that Henry would ever have. And so, like, that would be, like, something that he would want, and something that would be whatever. So Alex proposes first. Alex proposes at the lake house. Yeah. In movie number 2, we have Lake House Trip 2.0. Okay, we're gonna redeem ourselves at the lake house. Henry feels awful about everything that happened in the lake house in movie number 1. And he wants to make it up to him. So obviously, like, you know, they have, like, all cute shit happens at the lake house. They, like, talk about their feelings and how he's like, I don't resent anything that happened here, and we're where we are today because of love, and our love is, you know, whatever. And then at one point during this trip, Alex proposes on that fucking dock. Yes. Henry can also propose later. Like, I think that would be super cute as, like, he, like, it surprises him of, like, I know you already proposed, but today, like, I wanted to propose to, and I want you to have a ring, and he wants to, like, write a whole fucking proposal speech because he's fucking love letter king, whatever. And my mind child is that Henry gets his dad's old wedding band, and, like, turns it into an engagement ring. So he, like, gets it altered for Alex. Inscription headcanon, they definitely inscribed something. I don't know if we could do the yours, like the YRS, because that wasn't really a thing in the movie. But, like, in my mind, like, at least one of them would put history, as an inscription in the inside of the ring. I don't make the rules, except that I do, because this is my sequel. Another thing that would happen in this movie, revenge on Miguel. Okay, we've been presented a solid enemy in the movie universe. Okay, so I want Henry, obviously, to find out, 1, that Miguel was the one who leaked the emails, 2, that Miguel and Alex had hooked up, and 3, I want Henry to use all the goddamn royal authority he has to get that man blacklisted from the industry. Okay, he finds out about this, flips out. Obviously, he's not mad at Alex, but then Alex is all like, oh, I didn't want to tell you because I, you know, whatever. Where he's like, oh, and I wasn't sure that he leaked them, and then blah, 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 blah. Like maybe like they run into him. Okay, so like in my mind, they've gone to DC, they've gone to the White House for like a holiday. Like it's like Christmas. Okay, it's Christmas break. They're at the White House for like the holidays, so then we get to see all of our fun little characters. Like, we get to see Alex's parents, we get to see Zara, we get to see all of them, even though like we're gonna be in New York for like the majority of this movie, right? Also like obviously like Nora and Hez and them will be at the lake house, like duh. But anyway, so while they're at the White House for this whatever holiday that they're here celebrating, they run into Miguel like somewhere in public, like at some cafe or something, right? Like he did in the movie where he like ran into him at a cafe. Yeah. And like Miguel has like the audacity to like talk to them. This is his first time meeting Henry, and so like Alex gets super like, whoa. You know, in a perfect world, maybe he would get get punched in the face. I don't know, it depends. That happens. Henry finds out about everything. Henry has another run-in with Miguel later, this one probably on purpose, and he has this like really like possessive sexy moment where he's like, you ever fuck with my man again, like it's on site. So then speaking of like winter Christmas holidays, yeah, I want New Year's, and so then they can like redo their New Year's kiss now that they're together. That's cute as fuck. That's cute as hell. Yep. And I want them to be able to be like, I want them to be at like the White House New Year's party and like get to be like a couple. That's what, yeah. So in my mind, this would all happen in sort of like the beginning-ish of the movie. Alex meets Henry's mother. Okay, Alex meets Henry's mother because Catherine was not in the movie. Catherine was off in Botswana doing God knows what with elephants. So Catherine didn't meet Alex like she did in the book. They'll have to go to the UK for something. I don't know. So then Bea and the king and the Philip can all be there, whatever. Yes. I also want scenes of both Henry and Alex asking each other's parents for their blessings to get engaged. I just think that's the kind of cute little guys that they are. And I love the idea of like their families like knowing that both of them have asked, like that both of them are like planning to propose, but they don't know that the other person is planning to propose. Like that, yeah, like that's rom-com. That's a rom-com movie. Absolutely. And I need the return of Thanksgiving at the Brownstone because what the fuck? Okay, that's canon in the movieverse. You've created that. You've done this. You've done this because we got a hold of that information. So like, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna run with it. So they are moved into the fucking brownstone in Thanksgiving and they have everybody over and they're cute and domestic and whatever. I don't care what happens at Thanksgiving. I need to see Alex in a fucking turtleneck. What was that? David content. Obviously Henry has David in New York. Maybe they get David a friend. And they use that to talk about having kids one day. Whoa! Storytelling. Okay, whatever. So those are my main thoughts for the sequel movie, okay? So keep in mind, my sequel pitch is like fleshed out. My third and fourth movie pitches are not nearly as detailed with as many plot points. They're more just like overarching ideas. And they are two big overarching ideas that I don't think we could do two in one movie, hence why we now have three, okay? So, the sequel, I'm not taking credit for this title. My friend Emma saw somebody say this on Twitter, and I can't find the tweet, but just know that I'm not taking credit for this. Whoever came up with this on Twitter, you're a genius. Third movie is called Red, White, and Something Blue, okay? We're getting married. Getting married at the lake house. Duh. Okay, we got engaged at the lake house. We're getting married at the lake house. The lake house is that girl. We're moving to Austin. Okay, like Alex is done with law school. The shelter is up and running. They're settling the fuck down. Alex starts, he's like a lawyer in Austin. Kids, okay? Really, I'm like in my brain, like obviously I love the idea of them having like a surrogate and them having like cute little kids who look like them, but realistically, I think that Alex and Henry would adopt kids probably from one of Henry's shelters. Right? Like, I don't know. Like, maybe, like, one of the like, maybe there's, like, a teen mom at one of the shelters, and, like, she doesn't want to keep the baby, and, like, so it's, like, something happened, that they, like, talk about it, maybe, probably in this movie, maybe in the second movie, but so it's, like, they're on the same page that they, like, want kids, but they, like, it's not something that they're, like, actively, like, working on, but then, like, something happens, and, like, they, there's this kid that, like, comes into their life. But, like, they have like some cute moment at the shelter where like like Alex sees Henry like with a kid, like kind of like in the hospital scene in the movie, and they like like they talk about like having kids and shit, and it's just like really, really cute and adorable. Henry is abdicated at this point, so they're like settling down, they're starting their fucking family. Like Henry's learning how to bake, like that fucking thread that Casey had about him like trying to perfect Alex's favorite chocolate chip cookie. That is the cutest shit I've ever seen in my life. Henry's a horse girl. Henry has horses in Austin. That's canon. Henry has a little he takes care of horses and shit. He rides horses. Alex thinks it's the most glorious thing to ever exist. So, like I said, Alex is, he's a lawyer, he's done with law school, he's a lawyer, they're living their life in Austin. And then somewhere near the end of this movie, Alex talks about how like he part of him still kind of wants to run for president, because we had that line in the movie where he said, you know, until it's my turn to run for office, of course, and that has not left my fucking brain, because that was not the case in the book at all. So I'm desperate to know more. So like they have this scene where he talks to Henry. He's like nervous about it because the last time he brought that up, we saw where that went. And Henry is like, honey, like things are different now. I fully support you in anything that you want, and I want you to be happy, and I want you to do everything that you want to do, and I can do the work that I do, the writing and the traveling for the shelters anywhere we go. So like, you know, we could be in Austin for now, and then in a few years we can go back to DC and you can campaign and we can see what happens. And you know, it's cute and adorable and whatever. I also high key need a line of like Henry teasingly calling him Mr. President. I'm a simple gal. Also in this one, we could have Henry meeting Alex's extended family, okay? Like all of Alex's relatives on his dad's side from Mexico. Wonderful. That's one of my favorite fan fiction on AO3 of Alex and Henry is one that is that scenario. And so I'm shouting out that fanfic author right there. This is fucking incredible. I will link it in the description. Alex speaking Spanish and like anything with Alex's Mexican heritage really is my kryptonite. For those who are new here, I lived in Mexico for 4 years. It was, you know, it's a big part of me. So also they would teach, okay, so like bilingual household, okay, like Alex obviously would be like insistent on wanting their kids to be bilingual, teaching them Spanish. I think it would be really cute for like Henry over time to like learn Spanish. But yeah, that's a must for me. Last but not least, movie number 3. I don't have a title for this, okay, but sequel number 3 is Alex running for president, okay, because I just don't think that there's enough, you know, with having engagement, abdication, marriage, children, presidency. That's a lot of plot. We have a whole cinematic universe here, okay? Like a sequel isn't enough. A sequel isn't enough. The fact that they're like, oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's material for a sequel. Babes, look at the material. Look at the material. I've laid it out for you. Anyway, those are too many things to fit into one movie or 2 movies. So we have 3. So, you know, Alex running for president. So, you know, it's a few years later. Obviously, you have to be like 35 to run for president. I just need the movie series to end with Alex winning the presidency and them getting to move back into the White House as the president and first man. Like where their relationship first started with their family. Tell me that does not gag you. Like, tell me you are not on your knees at that thought. Okay. we could end the whole franchise with them like out at the fucking linden tree in the garden and like thinking back to their like first kiss, and now it's been like over a decade and like they have their own family, like they have their own kids. Alex is president, and like listen, Matthew, I will never ask for anything again. I will never ask for anything again. I'm not even asking to be involved with the creation of these movies. I just need, like, you can steal them, Matthew. I just need to see them. Okay? Feel free. Just steal my ideas and make the movies. But I will need to view them. I do need them to exist, unfortunately. With that being said, that is my pitch for the Red, White, and Royal Blue cinematic universe. Let me know your pitches for the Red, White, and Royal Blue sequel and following movies, because the more that I think about it, the more that I realize that a sequel is not enough. But if we get a sequel, I'll never ask for anything else ever again. Okay? Listen, I'm not demanding, okay? Like, I know that even getting a sequel is technically a stretch, but I've put myself in a state of delusion where I've just convinced myself that we are getting a sequel and that I have to manifest the other 2. Okay? If you want to hop on the delusion train with me, subscribe. Links for anything that you could need would be in the description, all my social media and all that. You should follow me on Twitter. I'm super active on Twitter, especially if you're in the Red, White, and Royal Blue fandom. You should follow me on Twitter because I'm posting about those silly gay bitches every single day, multiple times a day. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon.